A lot of you went nuts over these dinner menus and how I went about embossing, so that is what today's tutorial is going to entail. So if you're ready to elevate your Cricut game, make sure you stick around because I'm going to show you step by step exactly what I do to achieve this perfect look every single time. So here's my 4x9 menu design that I came up with in Canva. If you saw the original video on this, you know I put 2 on one sheet of 8.5 by 11, printed it out, then sliced it. So I will also be showing you guys exactly how I got these perfectly lined up because we know how important that is when it comes to embossing. As you guys already know, the date is what I emboss, so that is what I'm going to have to save out as a PNG with a transparent background. Canva will not let you save this out as a solo file, so what I do is I duplicate it and then I save out both layers on top of each other. That's always my little cheat in order to get something like this saved. So like I said, with both layers selected, I right click and then hit that download selection button. I make it a PNG, I slide that toggle all the way to the right, make sure transparent background is checked off, and then hit download. Now we have our main file for what we're going to be embossing in Design Space. Another file that we do need that I forgot to show is the whole design right here. We are going to need it as a guide to know where exactly we need to put the embossed design. So what you need to do is go to the top right, click share, save it as a PNG file, make sure the toggle is all the way to the right for the highest resolution, and you do not need to have transparent background checked off this time. Now the entire reason for having this 8.5 by 11 sheet with 2 menus on it is because if you've tried to do this in Design Space, you know that the print and cut feature is not going to allow you to do this size twice. So as a DIY budget friendly person, I am trying to make the most out of my cardstock. That is why I'm setting this up prior. You'll also notice from the bottom I did remove the date before this because I do not want that printed. I'm just having it embossed. So make sure you don't forget to do that as well. Now in order to save this one out, I go to the top right, hit share, download, but this time I'm making this a PDF best for print. I do find the quality comes out a little bit better with this feature, so that's why I'm going that route. And I'm also just making sure I save out this page, and I am changing it to CMYK because that is known for being a better print. Now that I have those 3 files saved out, I'm ready to start putting this into action. So I'm going to start off by printing this out on 8.5 by 11 cardstock paper. I do not recommend printing them all out until you've tested once and made sure you are capable of doing this. You'll notice when I went to file print that my preview is cutting off the borders of my menus slightly. In order for me to fix that, I need to go into paper size and I need to select the borderless option. Once I change it to that, I notice in my preview it is no longer cut off, so I am set to go. Also, I like to just note, make sure you are on scale 100%, not scale to fit. Printers tend to default to that, but we absolutely do not want it to do that. Now, the last thing I change is I go down to quality and media and I change my paper type to whatever I'm using. For these menus, I did go with a shimmer cardstock, so I'm going to change it to glossy photo paper. If you have a matte cardstock, make sure you pick the option underneath that one. And then absolutely make sure that quality is on high. I promise you guys, if you do not change those 2 settings, it's going to look like a low resolution print. Now after I printed, I grabbed my paper slicer and I cut this down. Since I did give borders on my design, I obviously know exactly where I need to cut. But if your design does not have a border, I definitely recommend making yourself printing guides. If you're unsure on how to make that, make sure you jump back to my tutorial on that. Now we are ready to go into Design Space. I click on blank canvas and then hit start designing. And of course, the first thing we want to do when we have our blank canvas is upload our image in. So right from my downloads folder, I am clicking and dragging that date PNG file. I don't need to do anything with the background remover since I did save it out with the transparent background. Now when it comes to convert upload to, because I'm just cutting this file, I'm going to make it a single layer, not a flat graphic. We are not print and cutting this. Now the second upload that we need to bring in is the full design. I'm not removing any of the background, so I'm going to leave this step alone. And then when it comes to convert upload to, I am going to make this a flat graphic. Like I told you guys earlier, I'm not going to be printing through Design Space. I just need this design to sit in here for a few minutes while I set up my embossing. Now that I have both of these files in Design Space, I am just changing the size of that design template menu. So now that I have that as a 4x9, I'm going to take my other file, which is the date, and I'm going to manually shrink this down until it fits right on top of the one that is in this menu. If I already have a design that's print and cut and I am just trying to line up the embossing, this is how I always nail the positioning. Now that I think I have the date pretty close to sitting right on top of where I want it, I'm going to take my menu design and I'm going to flip this from a print then cut to just a basic cut. You don't want to delete this. You want to keep it around because you need to know exactly where you're going to want to lay this down on your sticky mat. Now, if you guys have seen any of my inspo videos when it comes to embossing, you know I always make myself a stencil, which means I'm going to have to make this into a step 1 and 2. So what I did here was I duplicated that rectangle and I am sitting it directly on top of where I have everything else right now. I know this might be slightly confusing, but this is very important when it comes to positioning. Now, another thing we need to do for our step 2 is make sure that date layer is selected, go to your effects tool and add an offset. Adding the offset is essentially what's going to give you that emboss deboss effect. So if you've seen any of my other tutorials on embossing, you know this is what my go-to is, 0.02. You want to see it outline your design ever so slightly body, but not too far away from it because you really want it to give a stamp effect. If your design is outlined like mine, go ahead and hit apply. Your new offset layer is going to be selected, and while this is fresh on our mind, we want to go to that function tab and we want to select deboss. If you're new to Cricut, there is no emboss function. The way I had you guys set up the offset layer where it was slightly outlined is going to give you that emboss effect. Now, the last thing we need to do before we go ahead and make this is we need to lock in our step 1 functions together and our step 2 functions together. So holding down shift, I selected the offset layer in either one of the rectangles and I attached it. To get to this drop down, make sure you right click and then it should be in there. And then same thing goes with that cut layer for our date. We are going to hold down shift, select that, and then the other rectangle we didn't select prior. Right click and then hit attach. Now we are officially ready to go on to make. As you guys saw in the beginning, I did 2 at one time, so I'm going to up my project copies to 2 and hit apply. Now this boulder design right here is my deboss function, so I need to get these both on the same mat. So what I'm doing is going to my second mat here and I'm clicking those 3 dots and moving this up to my first mat. Now that it has me on mat 1, I'm going to take the deboss one and move that back to my mat 2. If your design is hidden, it's just literally sitting on top of the other one. So all you have to do is click and drag to move them around. Now the absolute last thing we need to do here on Design Space is we need to make sure the menus are sitting on top of one another. This is also where I'm going to decide where I need to lay down my printed menus. For this step, do not be afraid to zoom in as much as you need. You need to make sure you nail this placement. So what I do is I never go to the very top corner. So as you see in this preview, there is a red safety guide. Let me just say right now, it is not your friend as far as placement goes. I avoid it at all costs. So right now I am laying my first menu right at 1-1. And I am making a mental note that that is where I'm going to be putting my first menu. Now my second menu, I'm going to put at 6-1 so I give myself a little bit of breathing room and it's not overlapping with the other menu. Then you want to do the same exact placement we just did on our first mat with the second. So once again, I'm going to line up my first menu at 1-1 and then 6-1 for my second. As I'm doing that, I just want to point out that on the left-hand side, you see both of your mats, both 1 and 2. As I told you guys when we were moving our designs around to get our step 1 on that first mat and our step 2, which is the deboss, to be on the second mat. But you'll notice on the second mat's functions that it says both deboss, then basic cut. We are honestly kind of just tricking our Cricut machine to thinking it's going to cut, but we need to keep that rectangle, like I said before, to keep the positioning. So lucky enough for us, the deboss function happens prior to cutting. And both of these tools need to be in clamp B in order to work. So honestly, all we're going to do is let it run that deboss function when it comes to step 2, and we are not going to cut. We are just going to eject the mat from it and be done with it. But that is why you'll see both of those functions for your mat 2 or essentially your step 2. That's just important info that I feel like you should know. Now that we have both our step 1 and step 2 lined up and we went to go on and continue, we are going to go ahead and select our material. As I previously told you guys, we are going to have step 1 be just solely cutting. So what we need to focus on is making sure it cuts the D. Typically, I like to just do this out of scrap 300 GSM cardstock, but you can use whatever you like. I wouldn't recommend going under 200 GSM just because you want it to be decently thick so it gives that stamp effect. And when I go for the 300 GSM, I always select heavy cardstock and it seems to do pretty good with the double pass. Laying down my cardstock here, I am just making sure that it is placed right where my date design is going to be that I need cut. I currently used all my scrap paper, so I am going to be using a new sheet. But if you have random cuts of thick cardstock, definitely use that instead so you save some paper. And now I want you to remove everything on this mat that you do not have set to emboss. So as you can see, I just left the date. And then right on top of that, I'm going to lay down my menus exactly where I placed it on Design Space, which is the 1-1 and 1-6 mark. Now before I can load my mat into my Cricut, I need to set the material. I did print these on a shimmer cardstock, which is 250 GSM, but I'm going to be using the same exact heavy cardstock setting. Now that we're ready for step 2, it is showing us what we need to do in order to deboss. So over on my Cricut machine, I am removing the blade and I am putting in my number 21, which is the deboss tip. And I am ready to send these off to go. And honestly, guys, there is nothing more satisfying than watching your Cricut do this. Just a quick tip to make sure your mats are clean and sticky enough so that your design or your stencil does not move. Now, once I peel the menus off, you'll see my stencil is still there, and then I can reuse this as many times as I need. So all I have to do is repeat that debossing Cricut process. And there you have it, some professional and elegant looking menus. Make sure to give this video a save so you guys can give this a try next time you're looking to elevate your designs with embossing.